What's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review, and we're continuing with the Shrek series, Shrek 2. Another great movie that was released back in 2004. Very well marketed movie. It was a blockbuster hit. As far as box office ratings goes, it was definitely the best out of the four Shrek movies made. Had a lot of great marketing, NASCAR paint schemes, and everything. Really, really good. But how was the movie? It's definitely, to me, it's definitely the funniest of the four movies. We were watching it during our marathon. We were laughing at a lot of amazing moments, especially the interaction scene between the when the parents in Fiona and Shrek and then eventually Donkey are sitting at the table eating. That's a hilarious moment. We were absolutely dying at some points because it was just that funny. It was hilarious. It was amazing. I never remembered how funny it was because it's been a while since I'd seen this movie. My vision about it was a little bit blurred, but looking back on it, like, it was again just like the first movie, very well structured, a very good plot line. I think getting them the opportunity to have a more structured, like a sophisticated lifestyle, and then choosing to choose the lifestyle that they selected at the end of the first movie, and that was really nice. Let's talk about Far, Far Away. It's called Far, Far Away, the town, right? This thing is a mirror image of Hollywood or LA in general, and there are so many freaking product placements. I talked about a few that were in the first movie, but this thing is just full of it. First one I noticed was Burger King. They portray Starbucks. Well, no, that's later in the movie, but that's later. That's in the third one, I think. But they had freaking Burger King. I know there was the post office, and I know there was a freaking Gap, and for some reason Old Navy. I mean, there's so many, and many of them they use like knockoff names. Some of them they didn't. Like, they use direct logos but different letter, like, words and stuff like that to change them up. I mean, they're direct product placements. That's actually something I didn't notice when I last watched Shrek 2. Like, I actually dove into it this time and was able to see the product placements, and it was so funny. The character, I mean, there's one big character that's added into Shrek 2, and that is obviously Puss and Boots. That he sticks around, and he was a huge character. Like, I don't know if DreamWorks anticipated him being that big of a character in this movie, but man, was he a big character. He was a big thing in each of the other three, and then he got his own spin-off movie as well, which is just crazy. I forgot that he wasn't even the first one. That's how big of a character he is. But he's as a character, they play into him being a cat a lot. Think about, like, Brian Griffin, Family Guy. Like, they play with him being a dog, but also being, like, the character, like, like, built off of, like, a real person. And this one, Puss in Boots, like a ninja, Spanish machino ex machinist or whatever. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny that they do that, and they work it really well. And it works out really good. And of course, they got the fairy godmother, and she's a little annoying, I will admit. Good character though. I think the person who played the fairy godmother really played her really well. Prince Charming's pretty cringe, I will admit. And then of course there's some other characters. They're okay, but we get more backstory in the beginning of the movie about Fiona and why she was put in the tower, and then how the story was supposed to go, and then why it didn't go as good. And this movie, man, it wouldn't work. Like, the first one, not so much. This first one's not as bad as the second one. The second one, though, being 18 years old, holy moly, there's some things that would definitely not fly in today's world if they put that movie out today. Oh my, there's a lot of jokes in there that they portray racism, sexism. Oh boy, that's just, I mean, it's funny because they don't do it, like, intentionally, but it's kind of, like, implied, and you can recognize it, but if you can just not be offended by it right away, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. The animation style as well is exactly the same. It stays the same throughout all four movies, and 2004, it was still pretty relevant. It was still pretty good. I wasn't that's not a huge thing to me. But again, they just directly portrayed Hollywood in the town. They had the Hollywood sign was mimicked, and they had palm trees, and they had rich people, and they had celebrities, and they played Hollywood themed music, and they had again the product placements. I'm like, how you portray LA off of this? That's like direct portrayment. How they got away with it? Well, it was 2004. That's why they got away with it. But lots of strong portrayments there, which was I thought was pretty good, honestly. It's a very funny movie too. There's a lot of jokes I said in the beginning portion of the movie, and I like how the parents are okay. I think they're pretty good characters. I like how they do eventually they come around. I mean, it's pretty cliche character development, but they do eventually come around and accept their daughter, which I think is really good. And they accept Shrek and stuff like that, and get away from these dark arts, the magic and the eyes and stuff like that. Very, very solid movie though. A lot of people say it's their favorite. It was the best, most successful of the four. As far as a movie structure, I don't know if it's as good as the first one. This is definitely one of the few times where a sequel really rivals the original, though, as something that is, like, good. I'm going to have to probably give this one another 9 out of 10. This was a very, very solid movie. And hilarious. I recommend you watch it. You gotta definitely watch the first two in your marathon. If you watch the third and the fourth one, we'll get to those a little bit later, guys. But that's going to do it for this movie review. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.